Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. We had some breaking news that just came out a couple of minutes ago surrounding Grabbz and his future. But before we get into that, make sure you guys do drop a like on this video. I would appreciate it a ton. It really helps out my channel and my content. And make sure you guys check out the first link in the description below for my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/I_am_germ. I think I've streamed the last 5 or 6 days in a row. I'm really trying to get my stream off the ground, really trying to grow. And I think it's going to be a very, very new, exciting thing that I'm going to be doing going forward. So hopefully I see you guys over there. With that being said, let's get right into this. The big news coming out. This is from Alejandro Gomis. He is one of the big reporters or news guys, leakers, rumor accounts, whatever, for Esports Maniacos. He's been doing a really, really good job. He's had a couple of stories coming out so far already this offseason that have been very, very big, and he definitely has some more big stories coming, but he's been very reliable. He's been working really hard, getting a ton of stories out, and what he has, obviously you guys can see on the screen. Sources: Grabbz will be the new head coach of Team BDS. The former G2 coach has reached a verbal agreement with BDS, and then he has this article that we're going to get into, but this is very, very crazy. This is big news that really surprised me. When we first heard that G2 was going to be moving on from Grabbz, there was a couple different names that were kind of being thrown around. TSM was obviously a very, very big one that a lot of people were talking about. I made videos or talked, kind of offhand about how I thought a lot of NA teams should be interested in him. Cloud9 was maybe in a spot where they could be interested in Grabbz because Mithy kind of just got thrown into the head coaching role. TL also had a coach that just got thrown into the head coaching role. TSM wasn't going to have a coach because of Bjergsen, so there were some NA teams that were maybe going to be in the mix, but we were also hearing heavy rumors of Vitality potentially being in the Grabbz sweepstakes as well. But again, out of nowhere, a team that I had not even heard being rumored at all previously, BDS looks like they've got their man in Grabbz, and this is really, really exciting and big for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, Grabbz is one of the most accomplished, best resumes, and, one of the biggest names in coaching in the Western scene. Obviously, people have some kind of criticisms or reservations about just how good he is as a coach, as far as like X's and O's or strategy or drafts or anything like that. But I think as a leader, I think he's really unrivaled. I think he has one of the best resumes, one of the best track records, and I think he's going to do a great job wherever he goes. Obviously, he did amazing things with G2. He has an amazing resume, accomplished so much. But there is the argument that goes against him that he had some very, very talented, very, very loaded G2 rosters. And did he make them better? Was he really just a non-factor with G2? Did he maybe even hold them back a little bit? Sometimes that's where some of the criticism comes out. So Grabbz' coaching legacy and his career and everything is, in some people's minds, largely going to be defined by how much success he's able to find going to a new situation. So to me, I thought it would make more sense if he went to a TSM, a TL, a Cloud9, maybe even a Vitality, but a team that, is going to already have a very, very talented roster, is already going to have some big names, is already going to be competing for titles, world slots, all of this stuff. And going to BDS I see it as a little bit more of a risk. If he goes to BDS and isn't able to find as much success or isn't able to help, develop their team, it could be seen as a black eye in kind of the career and resume in Grabbz in some way. But this will be very, very interesting. If you're BDS, if you're a BDS fan, if you're somebody who's kind of curious about the team, this is a big deal for sure. And also, we know BDS is a team that has some money. They have a very, very rich owner. I don't know exactly how much of their budget is going to be devoted to esports, obviously, but they're going to have some money to throw around. They're going to want to be big players in the market. And by getting Grabbz obviously has a lot of connections. There's a lot of people that think of him highly. There's a lot of people that probably wouldn't mind playing for Grabbz, and I think this is going to be very, very interesting to see how this affects their potential, in getting other free agents. Obviously, Wonder is on the market, Mickey is on the market, Reckless is on the market, and these are guys that Grabbz has direct connections to. Now, is he going to be able to bring Wonder, Mickey, Reckless, any combination of those 2 or 3 over to BDS with him? Maybe, but that's definitely going to be some of the rumors and speculation and stuff that start going around. But even in terms of just recruiting any free agent talent to BDS, I think it really, really helps having Grabbz on the team, obviously. But another very, very interesting thing is obviously Grabbz is able to have a ton of success with a very veteran G2 lineup, a bunch of big personalities, a bunch of guys who have been in the league. They kind of knew what they were doing already. He, facilitated things, set stuff up. And maybe BDS is going to end up with a veteran lineup. Maybe BDS is going to make some big moves. Maybe they'll end up with a bunch of big names, and Grabbz can do a similar job. But what if BDS can't attract those free agents? What if BDS needs to go younger? What if they need to grab some ERLs? What if they need to grab some maybe more unproven talent? We know that it's pretty much confirmed that they're going to have Nuclear Int in the mid lane. I know from the Wooloo tweet we learned that BDS is maybe going to be going with some more K-Corp players. So maybe they will have a younger team like that. And for a team like that, is Grabbz necessarily going to be the guy? I don't know. I would have some more questions about that. It will be a very, very interesting and cool task for Grabbz to see, say they do end up with a very, very young, inexperienced team, how Grabbz is able to develop those guys, how he's able to coach them up, how he's able to help them get better week in and week out, split in and split out, year in and year out. So I think that's going to be a very, very different thing than he did with G2. So I think in some ways this makes sense. BDS needed to go out and make a splash. They needed to talk to all the big names on the market. Grabbz has a big brand. He's going to bring a big following. There'll be some fans that come over with him. There'll be some people that are at least like, hey, I want to see what Grabbz going to do with BDS. But at the same time, I see it as a little bit risky. I can see it as, I don't necessarily know if this was the job that makes the most sense for either party. I don't necessarily know if I love this. Again, I'll have to see what the rest of their lineup and roster and everything is going to be. But we'll have to see. I don't know. We don't know the roster or anything, so it is kind of hard to tell. As far as this article that they posted on Esports Maniacos, they posted an English version, which is really nice. They did say that according to close sources, Grabbz has reportedly reached an agreement with Team BDS to become the head coach of LEC 2022. If confirmed, he'd be the first of the G2 members to find a new home. He has a long history as a coach in the top European competition. He started as an analyst at UOL and Giants, but it wasn't until February 2016 when he made the jump to head coach of Team Rocket. The following year, he signed with G2. He's one of the most highly rated coaches in Europe, having an extremely extensive track record. G2 Esports officially announced they were looking for a new team for many of the players and staff recently, and then obviously just some info about BDS as well. So definitely go check out the Esports Maniaco stuff. They're doing a really, really good job. I expect them to do a really good job the rest of the offseason. But this is pretty crazy. I assume that since this deal is going down, that BDS was, made a very, very competitive financial offer to Grabbz, because again, there was definitely other teams interested in Grabbz in both NA and EU. Who knows, what Grabbz' main preferences were. But also, there is some better teams and better rosters, more established rosters in place that were at least rumored to be interested in Grabbz. Now, again, maybe those talks went bad. Maybe BDS was just offering more money. Maybe BDS is telling Grabbz, hey, we're going to give you more years on your contract, or, we're doing X and Y and Z, and we're going to get this player and that player. We're going to try this. Maybe there was just other ways that BDS was sweetening the deal. But when you had as many potential possibilities and stuff that he had, I got to assume that BDS, really shelled out the bag and was very, very interested in Grabbz, and they were able to get their guy. But yeah, this is one of the first big dominoes dropping of the offseason. Again, from what we're hearing, it sounds like this is official. It sounds like this is a done deal. Grabbz to BDS. Europe is all the way out of Worlds now. Offseason's heating up. This is offseason for 19 of the 20 teams in the West right now. The only team that's still alive is Cloud9. So I expect a lot more stories to be coming very, very soon. And again, when they come out, I'll be talking about them right away. Again, at this point, this was 13 minutes ago. By the time I started this video, this was like 5 minutes ago. I want to be, your go-to place, number one source for all this news. So definitely be looking out. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Drop a like if you did enjoy it. I'd appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about BDS Grabbz? Good move, bad move for him or the team? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.